and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. Okay, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. It is Monday Run Club. And we're off and running. Just started in the pouring rain here in Watopia, live on the Zwift Run Live channel on YouTube and the Film My Run Facebook page. Welcome along. Welcome to a very achy, painful 1 hour of running. Yeah, my legs are not going to work certainly for the first 2 or 3 kilometres before we warm up a bit. I also seem to have swallowed something wrong and my throat's just a bit funny. Hold on a second. Bit of my dinner must have gone down the wrong way. So hello Carl, hello Sarah, hello Tina, hello Clive, hello Brent. Hope you guys are all well. So Ben says good evening and good effort at the weekend. Thank you, buddy. Clive says good evening. Tina says welcome back. Sarah says, why are you running today? And Carl says he's just finished the ZLDR 10k. How was the 100? So we'll get into that in a second. Just let me clear my throat because I've got something in my throat and I'm coughing tremendously. Yeah, I must have swallowed a fly, Clive. Something like that. I don't know what it is. Actually, do you know what? Genuinely, could have been a little fly, I suppose, gone down there. Because it literally just, I breathed in and suddenly I've got a sore cough going on. Right, who have we got with us? Ian Balshaw and John Shaw are in Group A, and Ledbetter as well in Group A tonight. We've got Clive and who else have we got in Group C? Kelly, Reed, Harrison, Finnimore and Gonzalez are with me in Group C, and Svensson up ahead there as well. He's about six seconds up already. Jonathan reckons I've got COVID-19. I think I've already had that. I think I got that in March, right at the beginning of the UK lockdown. Or just before, actually. Alex says, how are you still capable of walking, let alone running? Well, right, the truth be told, I've done quite a few of these long distance runs now. So the more you do, the more your body kind of just gets used to recovering afterwards. And my legs are aching. I do feel a bit sore. But a recovery run like this at a relatively sedate pace should help. Should just loosen my legs up a bit and actually aid my recovery rather than hinder it. I do tend to be able to recover fairly quickly. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, by the way, if you're new to this channel or if you've just turned on and you've no idea who I am or what this is Zwift. It's an online virtual running game where we do training sessions, we do group runs, races, all online with people from all over the world. And I do this live streaming almost every day. But I've been a bit lax the past few days of streaming because I've been doing various things, and one of those things was a 100-mile run along the Thames Path on Saturday, stroke Sunday. So I finished at about 6 o'clock, 6:30 yesterday morning. So I had the whole of yesterday to recover, mostly. Had a good night's sleep last night, rested all of today, and so here we are on Zwift doing a nice recovery run this evening. Jonathan Koss is in Group B, as is Paul Deering. Lander, Heldorn, Moreau and Sandvand are also in Group B as well. We've got a 9.6 kilometre run today with a couple of faster little spurts, 200 metres in length, slightly quicker than the general run. The general run, I was going to say it's progressive, but it's not really progressive, is it? Paul Deering says, I didn't seem to stop long at the aid stations. No, because I had my wife crewing for me. So basically, literally touched into the aid stations and out again. Yeah, I didn't stop. The only one I stopped at for any length of time was Goring. And even then, I basically took a packet of crisps and went on my way. Carol Rushford says, going back to bed, that would have been recovery. Victoria says, perhaps I didn't put enough effort in. Fair enough. If I'd really tried hard, maybe I wouldn't be able to run now, that's true. Right, what we're supposed to be at 8.3 kilometres per hour now. So gradually, just increasing the pace during the warm-up until we get to run pace, which it starts out at 8.8 kilometres per hour, and we'll be doing that for 800 metres before we speed up a little bit more. So we just need to follow the instructions all the way through for the whole workout, and it should take us about 45 minutes to an hour. 45 minutes to an hour, that's a whole 15-minute window. How long is it going to take us? We've got 9.6k to do. It's going to take us about 55 minutes, let's say that, at a guess. Alex Lee says, I know you do a lot of running, but do you do any strength work? I should, but I don't. So this is one of those situations where it's don't do as I do as I say. I'm really bad at getting on with doing strengthening exercises, and particularly core strength. You know, I've got some weights literally sitting there, and I very rarely touch them, if ever, to be honest with you. And things like planking and sit-ups, all those kind of circuit training exercises, I don't do anything like as much as I should. I do them occasionally, but just not enough. And honestly, I would run better if I did them. Jeff Partridge says, well done on your PB, but you've still got some work to do to match my time. Yeah. Do you know what? My PB for 100 miles has been the same for 4 years. And yeah, I only beat it yesterday. But I'll get there, and I'll do another one, and I'll get a bit closer than Jeff. 21:28 to beat. Okay, so yesterday I finished in 22 hours 21 minutes. So I've got to cut virtually another hour off that, haven't I, Jeff, to beat your time? Nice job. Buenaventura says, hello boss, hello buddy. Yeah, that's the problem with my 100 milers, is I always choose hilly 100s in which you're never going to be able to do a fast time because you're climbing hills all the time. Or 100 milers that are way more than 100 miles, so 104, 105, 106 miles. And again, you're never going to get a fast time. Oh, I haven't sped up. Right, let's go to 9 and just vaguely catch the group up because I've fallen behind already. Actually, let's go a bit faster. I'm not paying attention. So the idea is that you stick to the instructions on screen. And the instructions are telling me to go 8.8 kilometres per hour, which I've summarily failed to do. So just catching up with the back of the guys. In Group C here, you can see Group C is led by the pace spot there, hanging up, floating in the sky there. Although it now seems to be whizzing round a corner away from us. So I'll just catch up to the back of Clive. And is it Mark Harrison from Scotland? Thanks for the ride-ons, by the way.
Right on.
Chris Beale, thank you. Alex Lee says, did I film at the weekend? No, I didn't. So I had to get a monkey off my back, really. I did this same race, the Thames Path 100, last year, and I DNF'd at 85 miles. So I didn't finish. And I made a film of that. So if you haven't seen it, you want to go and look at my Thames Path 100 film from last year. That's on my Film My Run YouTube channel. So by all means, go and check that out. But I just felt this year I would ditch the camera, leave the camera at home, and try and finish the run without any distractions, which is what I did, and I'm pleased to have finished. And maybe the next time I do Thames Path 100, I'll film it again, we'll see. But I'm also not filming South Downs Way 100 as well, which is my next 100 miler in November. Because that's in November, See, normally the South Downs Way 100 is in June and it's really warm. And I don't run well in the hot weather. But I do run quite well in cold weather. And because the South Downs Way is in November, I'm quite hopeful that I can get a decent time at that. So once again, I'm not going to film the South Downs Way 100. I might try and do like a kind of build-up video to it or something. We'll see. Victoria says on the chat that I lost 20 minutes getting lost and then lost time waiting for her at an aid at a crew point in Marlow. Yeah, I'm not sure, it wasn't quite 20 minutes getting lost, I think it was 10. I went the wrong way at one point on the race yesterday, or Saturday. And, oh my god, increase your incline to 2%, what's going on there? Alright. Okay, we're up to 2% incline then. That's no good, I didn't expect that to happen. And now we increase the pace to 9 kilometres per hour. So, hill reps. 2% incline, 9 kilometres per hour for 800 metres. Yes, but I did get to a crew point and find that my wife wasn't there. So that lost me another 10 minutes or so. But never mind. Overall, my wife is an excellent crew. Really, really good. So, appreciated her being around. And if I'd just run a bit faster, the time wouldn't have mattered, would it, that I waited for her at Marlow. You can always balance these things out, you know, if I hadn't done this, if I hadn't done that, if this had gone right or if that had changed, you would have run faster. Well, you didn't run faster, and the upshot is I finished in 22:21 and that was it. And that's my best time ever for 100 miles, so I cannot complain at that. Leo Loughran says, nice to see you at it, Stephen. I take it you're just shaking the legs. Yes. I was following your move on the leaderboard. You made a massive leap in positioning near the end. Top running, yeah. Well, I basically caught people up from halfway, so I took it really slowly at the beginning, so I wouldn't be massively tired at the end. Well, I mean, you're going to be tired, but you know, some people are so tired they basically go down to a walk and they cannot run anymore, and they walk the last 20 miles in. I don't like doing that because it's horrible. So I started really slowly, almost at the back of the field, position 177 or something, and slowly worked my way forward from halfway onwards, and finished in 59th in the end, which I'm quite happy with. But there were some super uber fast runners out there. Lots of people under 20 hours this year. Lots of people. Jeff Partridge says, my South Downs Way time is a fair bit slower than my Thames Path time. Then I did run some of it with you. Oh, thanks very much. Carol says, it's good to see Paul Deering put in as much effort as Jonathan. Are they doing all right together? Okay, they're running together. Look, yes, so Paul Deering and Jonathan Costa are running together. Exactly the same speed, exactly the same distance. Good on them. I've fallen behind again. Why have I fallen behind again? Clive Finnemore's just behind me, but Kelly, Gonzalez and Harrison are a good 3 or 4 seconds up on me. Mind you, so is the pace bot. What's going on there? I'm not making any mistakes, am I? I'm going at 9 kilometres an hour. Now, so when we get to the next 800 metre set, are we going to have to increase the incline even more? Neil Messenger, yes, it's the South Downs Way National Trail in November from Winchester to Eastbourne. 100 miles. Oh, really? Paul says we're inclining again. That's no good. John S. on YouTube says, well done on your run. Great time. Thank you very much, John. Stephen Smith says, one day I will do the Thames Path 100, and so you should. Oh, Kelly says, thankfully my treadmill is broken. My treadmill incline is broken. Yes, follow the instructions. Okay, I think, was I supposed to be on 2%? Increase to 3%, there you go, yeah. So I was right. 2% at 9 kilometres an hour. I just wondered why I was falling behind. Vidar says, hi champ, hello buddy. Neil Messenger says the South Downs Way is 160 miles away from me. So I wouldn't suggest a quick trip down to wave me goodbye then. Carol Rushworth confirms it goes to 3% elevation, then goes back to 0. Jolly good. Rather harder work than I was hoping for. As Gonzalez says, the Zwift pod is not very fine. Rob Harrison says, good evening. Ollie Goulden, well done on your PB this weekend, pal. Glad to see the legs are ticking over nicely. Yeah, not too bad, just a bit sore. Give it a couple of days, we'll be all right. Well, I think your other half told me about the inclines earlier and I kind of forgot about them, Carol. So I'm glad it wasn't too much of a shock. Thanks for the ride on. Rosa, thank you. Leo, I saw that you'd set it up, yes. Yeah, I told you it wouldn't be easy. Once you've got it set up, it's fine, but yeah, it just takes a lot of fiddling. Right, so there's my incline, 3% incline. And there's my speed, 9 kilometres an hour. And we've got about 400 metres to go until we have a little bit of recovery. 400 metres at 8.6 kilometres an hour. So we're telling people to follow the instructions. I mean, at the end of the day, people can do what they want, can't they? As long as you're happy with your training, as long as you're happy with the effort that you've put in a particular session, I don't suppose it matters too much. But it is nice that everybody's doing the same thing, because that's what we're here for. We're here for a collective experience. We're We're here for a community group run, so it's nice that we know that everyone else is doing the same workout that we're doing. Vidar, I'm in Group C tonight, just because of tired legs from the weekend. So I just thought I'd have a slightly easier run. But with the incline, it probably isn't that much easier. Although, having said that, my quads are perfectly fine because there was virtually no incline at all on the Thames Path run. So for the whole 100 miles, it was about 500 metres of elevation gain. So really nothing at all over that distance. So my quads actually are perfectly fine. It's my hamstrings that are sore. My hamstrings are really tight, which is why, again, I don't want to go fast because I don't want to stretch my hamstrings out. Well, I wouldn't be able to be fair. Right, we're nearly at rest time. 6.5 kilometres to go of Monday Run Club. Very rare that we do incline on Monday Run Club. But here we are doing it. Ah, yes, okay, so Leo had to download the Configurers app. Yeah, if you've got the Run Smart treadmill sensor, that is an important app to get hold of. Helps you figure out how to calibrate your Run Smart treadmill sensor. Right, start decreasing the treadmill incline. So we'll do that, and then we can slow the treadmill down and have a little bit of recovery. And then we got a couple of short, sharp increases of pace. So Clive and I are still together. Should we catch up to Kelly and Gonzalez? Clive, if you're listening, just going to catch up to the guys in front. Vidar says he rode the Alpe d'Huez Zwift yesterday. Legs are tired. Not surprised. And there we are, just caught up to the back of the guys. Slow it back down again, 8.6 kilometres per hour. Andy Bain, hello Andy. He says, my God, you're running today. Rather you than me. I'll watch you whilst I have a beer, he says. Andy and me ran a few kilometres together over the weekend. Andy raced the TP 100 as well as me. Just a recovery run, Andy. I'm just stretching the legs out a bit. I hadn't counted on there being an incline in this run though, so that surprised me a little bit. But never mind, we'll get through it. You can see heart rate there, 125, so that's fine. And you can see my power in the bottom right of the screen, 172, 173 watts, so that's fairly comfortable as well. In fact, it's about my running pace for the Thames Path 100. I was doing between 170 and 200 watts during the TP 100. Obviously, that's not including walking breaks, and I think my overall average power for the whole Thames Path 100 was about 140 watts. So if you're into your stride, if you're into your running power metrics, 100 miles in 22 hours, just over 22 hours, and I was doing 140 watts for that time, approximately. You can go and have a look. Oh no, you can't go and have a look at my Strava because, well, you can have a look at my Strava, but the power isn't on there. It's on Training Peaks. I think it might be on Garmin Connect as well, but I don't do social on Garmin Connect. Right, is it 12.1? Quick sprint. Andrew Cutmore says he can't believe first place in the Thames Path 100 was 14 hours. Yeah, that's about the record. 14 hours something is the record for that run. And for the ladies, the record is 16 hours. Amazing, really, when you think about it. I mean, I would be pleased one day, I think, to get under 20 hours for a 100 miler. I'd be very happy with under 20 hours. But 14 hours for 100 miles, that's just ridiculous, isn't it? Crazy. Seeing as the world record for 100 miles is 12 hours, around about. Right, recovery again.
Nice.
Just catch up to the back of them again. The problem with having a smart treadmill is it reacts so quickly to increases and decreases of pace. You often find people with foot pods, their pace increases and decreases a lot slower. So you have to, if you want to stay with the group, you have to manage your increases and decreases of pace on a smart treadmill so that you stay with the group. Costco man says, how many laps around Walmart is 100 miles? It depends how big your local Walmart is. But I would guess if your local Walmart is a 1 mile circumference, then I think it would be 100 laps of your local Walmart. Carol Rushworth says maybe the winner caught the bus. Well, that's what happened in the Kielder Marathon, isn't it, one time? Do you remember that story? So the Kielder Marathon is quite a well-known marathon up north, around Kielder Reservoir in Northumberland. We're talking the UK here, by the way, guys. Sorry if you're from the States or watching from elsewhere. I'm sorry, this is rather a UK-centric stream today because we're talking about UK running. Anyway, at Costco, yeah, my maths is top-notch. Yeah, the Kielder Marathon, a few years ago, there's a guy finished in, I think it was second or third place in the marathon. But literally, he ran a bit of it and then caught the bus to take him the last few miles, got off the bus and ran to the finish line. There's a video of it on YouTube. I can't remember his name. Anyway, look up Kielder Marathon. It's hilarious. Leo Loughran says, what is the max out speed on your treadmill in miles per hour? 12 point something, so it's 20 kilometres per hour. So what's that, 12.5 miles an hour? Something like that. Okay, coming up to the next little sprint, 12.1 kilometres per hour. With my little group here, Kelly, Gonzalez, Finnemore and Harrison. And away we go. 12.1 kph just for 200 metres. His name was not Stephen Cousins, Carol. How rude. Thank you, Matthias, for your ride on. Cheers, buddy. And there we go. Almost half an hour of running done. And that's the next stride over and done with. Keep with the group. Okay, so we are gradually getting through it. We're almost halfway now on Monday Run Club Group C tonight. Chilling with the guys. C. Kelly and M. Harrison. Can't remember their first names for the life of me. And Gonzalez from Spain. And Clive Finnimore. All in Group C, all sticking together, nice and tight.
5, 4, 3.
What have I done that for?
1.
Ignore that. I meant to press that button. It's so easy to get set up with Zwift running. Here's what you need. Firstly, access to a treadmill. It could be at home or at the gym, but any treadmill will work with Zwift. To get you moving in game, we need a speed source. Traditionally, we use a foot pod, like the Zwift Pod or the Stride, but you can also use the Run Smart treadmill sensor, your Apple Watch, one of the newer Garmin watches, the TSS app, and if you have a smart treadmill, your treadmill will connect directly to Zwift without the need for another device. Now simply download the Zwift app onto a Mac, a PC, an iPhone, an iPad, an Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. Finally, pair your speed source in the app. Pairing heart rate from your watch or a chest strap is also a great addition to Zwift. And that's it. You're all set up for solo runs, solo or group workouts, challenges and real-time racing on Zwift with people from all over the world. So Watt's at 170 now. Heart rate is at 120, so that's okay. All looking good. Ledbetter and Pearson in Group A are 5 to 6 minutes ahead of us. Group B are also about 5. Oh no, Sandland is only a minute ahead of us. But Peters from the Netherlands is way ahead. He's almost with Group A. Right, off we go again. 200 metres. Weaving all over the road again. Okay, I made sure that I didn't get left behind there. Leo says, speed work on the treadmill is in a different league. Yeah, certainly different to outdoors. But I think it often depends on how much heat there is in the room as well, if you've got a fan on and stuff like that. If you think about what Mo Farah did in his 1 hour challenge the other day, was it Friday night? So he was going well over 13 miles an hour for a whole hour. Now my treadmill maxes out at 20 kilometres an hour, which is about 12.5 miles an hour, something like that. And I can probably hold that pace for 400 metres, 500 metres max, before I really, die a horrible death. So imagine holding that pace for over an hour, and then you've got the world record for the marathon, which is about 2 hours. So that's 13 kilometres an hour for 2 hours. Imagine that. And I can hold it for 2 minutes. Okay, so recovery time, 8.3 kilometres an hour. And we're back to the incline now. So in a minute, I imagine it'll tell us to raise the incline to 2%, and we'll be going at 9.2 kilometres an hour. And then another 800 metres at 9.2 kilometres an hour, it'll be 3%. Leo's treadmill maxes out at 11.5 miles per hour. Who can do the maths? Jonathan, if you're available, what is 20 kilometres an hour in miles per hour? I could ask Alexa, but I wouldn't be able to hear her. So 20 kilometres an hour in miles per hour, please. Right, incline of 2%, here we go, for another 800 metres. Up to 1%. And up to 2%. Let's go. And increase the speed. 9.2 kilometres an hour. See, Kelly says it's 12.4 miles an hour. Kelly, remind me of your surname, your first name. I'm so sorry, I can't. You and M. Harrison, I just can't remember your first names. I do apologise. But yeah, C. Kelly says 20 kilometres an hour is 12.4 miles per hour. There we go, Jonathan Cost, 12.43. And is it named 12121 from Twitch? It's good to have some people watching from Twitch. Chris Kelly, thank you, Chris. Chris, named 121 from Twitch says 12.4 as well. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. So we're up to 185 watts of power, but I'm pretty sure the elevation effort is not included in that. So that's one thing the Stride cannot do. On the treadmill, it will not be able to factor in the extra effort that you're putting in when you're on elevation. Let's just try that out, shall we? Costco Man says the Twitch Master Race. Well, I've just had an update from my Stream Deck, which makes Twitch integration massively easier. So we might try and integrate a bit more with Twitch. Right, so let's see. 2% elevation, and we're on about 190 watts. Just for an experiment, I'm just going to reduce the elevation and see if it makes any difference to the watts. So down to 0. It shouldn't make any difference. Don't know. What do you think? 186, 187. Right, I'm going to go back up. We're back up at 2% now. Well, it does seem to go a bit higher, doesn't it? It does seem to be making a difference, I think. A little bit. Dan Map says good running. Hello. Hello, buddy. Well, I'm not sure. What do you think? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put the elevation up to 5% and see if that makes a difference. So 5% elevation on the treadmill. No, 192, 189. That's made less of a difference, if any. 5% elevation. No, 186. Look, 185. It's gone down, if anything. So no. So I think we were right in the first place. The Stride does not account for elevation on the treadmill, which means that it's not quite accurate in terms of the power output, because you are generating more power when you're climbing uphill, and that will be reflected outdoors, but not indoors. Costco Man says no effect. Yeah, I agree. Paul Deering says, did my cadence increase? I don't think so, no. Well, you can check it up. Let's do it again. Let's go up to 6%. Cadence is 169, 165, 166. Should be about the same. 169 again, look, there we go. And watts is 190, 192, 193. Cadence 167, 168. And let's drop it down again to 2%. Let's drop it down to 0. Cadence 167, 65. So I'd say no change in cadence. I'd say no noticeable difference in power. But I mean, we know that Stride doesn't do that for indoors on the treadmill. So anyway, there we are. Right, so we're now up to 3%, keeping the same speed of 9.2 kilometres an hour, and we've got the percentage at 3% incline on the treadmill for another 800 metres. Heart rate 132, so nice and easy. And we've got 3.3 kilometres to go of Monday Run Club. Thank you for all your comments about my race at the weekend. Very pleased to get that done. DNF'd at the same race last year, so very pleased to finish this year. Fastest 100 miler ever for me. So it can only be improved upon. Legs are feeling tight, certainly my hamstrings are tight, but I'm not unable to run. It feels okay, and heart rate certainly is fine. If you are interested in incline on the treadmill, you know you can use the Runcline app from Pascal. Pascal is a very well-known member of the Zwift Runners Facebook page and has programmed an app called the Runcline app, available on the App Store. And if you have a foot pod, normally you would connect that foot pod to Zwift. But in this case, what you would do is you would connect your foot pod to the Runcline app on your phone, and then you connect the Runcline app to Zwift. And then what will happen is when you increase the incline on your treadmill, you can also increase the incline on the Runcline app and have Zwift record your elevation, which is really good, because so many people don't currently have that ability. So if you haven't got a smart treadmill, any incline you do on your treadmill is not recorded by Zwift and essentially is lost. So you do a lot of work, but you don't see the benefit in the numbers on Strava or whatever third-party app you use to look at your stats. But if you use the Runcline app, you can get that elevation recorded, so you can see how much work you've done climbing hills, even on the treadmill. And Pascal has also been doing some work with smart treadmills, trying to get them to be auto incline. So some smart treadmills are currently able to be controlled by Zwift. Not mine, unfortunately, but some can. So if you increase the incline, no, not if you increase the incline, if Zwift elevation profile has some incline in it, it will automatically change the incline of your treadmill for you without you having to do it.
Thanks for giving my dad a ride on.
Gabriella, thank you for your ride on. So I've fallen slightly behind Chris and Clive and Gonzalez again. So let's just catch up to the back of the boys. We seem to have lost the pace spot. Don't know where that's gone. Svensson, who is also in Group C, is miles ahead, 3 minutes ahead he is. So he's doing more like Group A pace or Group B pace. Less than 3 kilometres to go now. Monday Run Club. If you haven't subscribed to the Zwift Run live channel, please do. If you're watching on YouTube and you haven't clicked that subscribe button, do it now. Much appreciated. Right, incline back to 0 now. 2, 1, and 0. Leo is off to bed. Take care, Leo. See you soon. Nice one, buddy. And slow the treadmill down. And we've got 400 metres recovery. And then we're going to finish off the session with our 200 metre sprints, or increases of pace, strides rather than sprints. I'm wondering why I was sweating so much. I've realised I haven't had the fan on all session. I think I'm going to put it on now, even just with 2.5k to go. I'm going to put the fan on. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. So if you're watching, any more questions, anything you want to say in the chat, drop it in now, because we'll be finishing in about 10 or 15 minutes. Happy to have kept heart rate in zone 2 for the whole run. That's really good. Really pleased with that. So we will be increasing the number of streams for the next 8 weeks. Hopefully from about 2 or 3 mornings a week, I'm going to stream an incline or an elevation session as part of my training for the South Downs Way 100, which has about 3,500 metres of climb. That's about 12,000, 13,000 feet of climbing. So we will be doing our usual evening sessions: Monday Run Club, Wednesday workout, Friday fartlek, and the other ones that we do randomly throughout the week. So we'll be doing them, but I'll also be doing at least 2, possibly 3 incline sessions in the mornings. So we may start them from, I think probably from Thursday. We'll see. Maybe even Wednesday. See how the legs are going. I do need to be sensible. You know, you do need to do a bit of recovery after you've run 100 miles. So I'm not going to be going crazy straight away, but I'll play it by ear, see how my legs are doing, and we'll start those incline sessions in the morning sometime this week. Right, into our sets of strides now towards the end of the session. Total distance of the run today is 9.6 kilometres, so we've got just over 2 to go. Ryan Downey says it's depressing how dark it gets now. Yep, the evenings are drawing in. Okay, 400 metres recovery, and then we do that again. So we've got 3 sprints, and then we'll be basically at the end. And it's really nice how the 5 of us have stayed together. Do you know what? That really doesn't happen all that often these days. In Monday Run Club or Wednesday workout, we do tend to stretch out quite a lot these days. And it's nice to have a pack that has stayed intact. All 5 of us have run the whole thing together. So that's really good. So thanks to Group C, solid run. I've always said this about Zwift. You know, when you get into it like this and you get into your group runs, it really does feel like being in a little mini online running club. Proper support from each other. You do feel like you are running with people, even though it's virtual. In group runs, you've got the same feeling of wanting to help each other out and not letting people down. And in races, you've got the same feeling of not wanting to be caught or wanting to catch the person in front. It's exactly the same. And yeah, Chris says it. Time seems to go quicker when you're running together as well. Yes, agreed. Okay, so 100 metres to go, and then we'll do another sprint, and we've got one more after that. Carol agrees. She says the support on Zwift is fantastic. Oh, come on, Gonzalez. So Gonzalez is just tired off at the end there. Just got a bit too much for him, so he's recovering. But he did well. Well done, buddy. Carol Rushworth says the 800 metre cooldown isn't faster, which we often complain about sometimes. That the cooldown actually ends up being quicker than some of the sections. We've got one more recovery, one more sprint, then it's cool down time. Louis says, I thought Monday Run Club was tough. Saturday's my duathlon. Hope I do well. Yeah, good luck, Louis. Louis, I'm just taking an easy one today because of my legs needing a bit of recovery. But Monday Run Club actually isn't normally that tough. It's normally a fairly kind of good workout, but it's nowhere near as hard as Wednesday workout. Wednesday workout is where the real magic happens. Monday Run Club is usually a hard effort, but not a crazy effort. So here we go with the final stride. 12.1 kilometres now for 200 metres, then we've got 800 metres cool down, and that'll be Wednesday workout. No, it'll be Monday Run Club. Done and dusted for the week. And we'll be back on tomorrow for either one of Ryan Downey's runs or Turn It Up Tuesday. Yes, apparently I've just learned tonight, Louis, that Parkrun will be opening in, I think, October. Somebody did mention it further down the stream, further down the chat. Hang on. Parkrun is due to return to England by the end of October, apparently. That's what Jeff Partridge just said. So fingers crossed that happens. Here we go for the final stride. 12.1 kilometres an hour, 200 metres. Okay, let's go. Aldrich, thank you for your ride on. And here we go. That is the end of the hard work for Monday Run Club. And we have a nice, easy 7.7 kilometres an hour chill out, 800 metres cool down. Very nice. Any last questions, get them in. And then we'll be done for tonight. And we'll be back tomorrow for Tuesdays. Turn It Up Tuesday, or Ryan Downey's. Is it PACK Social 5K on a Tuesday? Something like that. Look at my arms going left to right. They should be going forwards like that. It's a very strange view sometimes, that, isn't it? I'm much more comfortable just doing that. Anyway, there we are. Ride-ons dropping everywhere. I suppose I should do that as well. Down to 7.6 kilometres an hour. Yeah, hello, is my mouse going to work? Yes, it is. Right, there we go. Kelly and Clive, M. Harrison, possibly Mark Harrison, and Gonzalez. Well done to him. Let's give B-Track a ride on, way back there. There we go, that's everybody. Carol Rushworth says Mr. Floppy. Ryan Downey says Tuesday PACK Social 5K will be 10.2 kilometres an hour. That's 6.8 miles an hour. And there is a new PACK run starting on Wednesday for a full hour of power running. Oh my goodness, Jordan Maddox won't be happy. If it's power running, that's Jordan's game, that is. Anyway, yes, so Ryan Downey adding another run to his set of running events that happens on Zwift. But we may well do Ryan's Pack Social 5k tomorrow, just see what their schedule looks like and how tired I feel. If oh, I'm limping a bit all of a sudden. Just as we've slowed down, my left leg has gone a bit funny. Ryan Downey says, check the Zwift companion app for more info, but start time is 8:05 p.m. Central USA time on Wednesday. That's 2:05 a.m. UK Thursday. It's not happening for me, buddy. You are not getting me out of bed at 2:05 in the morning. Although I did do that once, about 3 years ago, for a Hoka run on Zwift that was happening at 2 a.m. and I got up and I streamed it live. What kind of madness was that I was doing? Down to 7.4 kilometres an hour now. Right, the big difference between Jordan's Dusk Patrol run, which is 1 hour of hard running, and Ryan's new run is that Jordan's is in the morning, Ryan's is in the evening. No conflict at all. It'll be fine. Yes, Jonathan, I have seen the cycling pace bots and their cheesy comments. I did try and run with one of them, but it was just too fast. And now you can't. Right, Carol's calling me a wimp. What? Because of my knee that's just gone a bit funny. UK folks, sign up for the run, go to bed, wake up and find your avatar at the start line. No, Ryan. No. Stop it. Stop it. There's plenty of people in America. Don't take my lot. We are not coming to your 2 a.m. run, and that is final. I speak on behalf of the nation. It's not happening, okay? Get your own Americans in there. But we do love you, Ryan. Right, just over 200 metres to go. And we're done. Glad I got that one done. My knee has kind of settled down again now. That was a bit odd. Suddenly twinged and I started limping for about 200, 300 metres, but I'm all right now. Kept the heart rate in zone 2, green zone, so that's very good. Watts, we were about, I think maximum watts was about 200, was it, when we went up to 12.1 kilometres an hour? Maybe about 200 watts. And thanks for the ride-ons dropping. Ian Valshaw, thank you. And S. Connor, thank you. Another 10 XP points to add to the piles of XP points racking up in the background till we get some new levels. No idea when they're coming, but they will come eventually. I've really got my fingers crossed for the autumn update. I'm hoping there's going to be an update, a big update, like October, November time, when we get the new UI, the new user interface, and hopefully some new levels for running, maybe even some new run routes as well. Fingers crossed for something in October or November. Ryan Downey says, I seem to recall a video you posted about someone saying there is no nationality. Yes. But there is sleep time, Ryan. Yeah, I posted that today, in fact, I think, didn't I? I thought it was nice. Stephen, are you free to run the Alp with Ryan on the 11th of October? I think so. I don't know for sure. I'll pencil it in as a possible yes. I know I've got races coming up. No, that's not October. I don't know. Probably, Carol. Yes, probably. Darren says, how are you? Finally some rain here, hoping for cooler weather. Wow. Malta must have been really warm over the summer. And 5 says, cheers, see you next time. Yes, Clive, take care. Thanks for running with us. Good run. Enjoyed that. And M. Harrison says, thank you all. Well done, everybody. Right, that's it. We're done. Carol says, you need to run 10k now. Why do I need to run 10k now? What have I done wrong? Oh, no, I'm not running 10k. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, hang on a minute. All right. I'll walk. Shall I walk to 10k? Where am I? 9.6. 400 metres of walking. I'm going to walk to 10k. We'll have the slowest 400 metres you've ever seen on record while I chat to you. 35 degrees today. Oh my God. And rain. 35 degrees and rain. Wow. Well, it was perfect weather over the weekend. I think it was about 17 or 18 degrees Celsius. What's that? 68 Fahrenheit. So warm but not overly hot. And yeah, it was nice. Nice weather. Yes, Carol, you are correct. I do apologise. I wasn't thinking straight. It is the rule that if you were at 9.6, you go to 10. Oh, come on then. I'll just jog it out. There we are. 7 kilometres an hour. Will that do you? 7 kilometres an hour for 300 metres. Just to get to 10k.
Nice!
I'm not going to slag off your other half on here. I know what will happen. I would not like to be on the other end of Carol's aggression. I can see it in her eyes. If she's not happy, she wouldn't be happy. I know that. Darren has run 19 kilometres today. Good days. Well done, buddy. So, Darren, I think he's still coming back from injury, isn't he? Carol says she'll sleep tonight knowing I got to 10k, which makes it very, very tempting to finish on 9.9. I'm so tempted to do that. I won't, don't worry. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for the amusing chat as always on YouTube, Facebook and Twitch. So it's nice to get 1 or 2 people chatting on Twitch. Good stuff. Always appreciated. Always enjoyable. And I am almost done. I've been persuaded to do an extra 400 metres just to get to 10k because that is the rule. And oh, Jonathan Costas do 9.9. Oh no, I'm so tempted, but even my OCD might play it up a bit doing that. Carol says, don't you dare. No, we're nearly there, look. 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Done. Oh right, so Darren says he's actually been injury-free since May, but very inconsistent with training. Though now time to have a super year ahead. Yeah, good luck, Darren. I know you had some bad news running-wise recently, so apologies for that. But yeah, get back into it and enjoy your running, buddy. and hopefully have some cool weather to run outside in. Well, and inside as well, because even inside, if you haven't got air conditioning, I mean, I am desperate to get some air conditioning in this place so I can close the doors on really hot days and just enjoy like a more moderate temperature while I'm running. Anyway, that's it. Enough chat. We'll see you tomorrow for Ryan's Pack Social 5K, probably. But we'll definitely be on tomorrow. And that's 10k done. Jonathan Cost touched 180 HR in that run. Well done, Jonathan. Good work. Okay, I'm off. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.